Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and welcome to another tutorial. So far, we've done some really cool stuff. What we are trying to do, in case you are just watching this for the first time, is that we're going to recreate this in 3D. So in my previous tutorials, we have animated the crane, created particles to make the crane fly around in a group. In the last tutorial, I actually modeled this. So in this one, we are going to quickly UV map it and put some textures on it and then go from there. So the reason why I want to UV map this is because there is actually texture on this. You can just barely see it, but in the image it does in fact have some sort of texture information which I need to replicate. What type of texture it looks like is like dark stone, but I think it's a good idea to just go ahead and UV map it so that we can make sure that everything looks accurate and good. So let's go to the top right of Maya and go to UV editing. And this is already UV map, but let's see what that looks like. Looks like crap. You definitely don't want stretched textures. So in this scenario, I think what I want to do, just try to do automatic mapping and see what that takes me. So it takes me pretty good. Now, automatic works in some cases, sometimes it doesn't, but in this case, it actually does work. I want to try to sew some seams. I don't really want to have these different types of textures going different directions. So select the edge, especially the one facing the camera, and let's go to stitch together. There is a shortcut if you're interested. For example, let me select this one. You can do shift right click, stitch together. That might go a little bit faster. And then I'm going to grab this back one here, shift right click, stitch together. Go to faces, double click, and then move it up into the 0 to 1 space. I can try to rotate it so at least this is in some sort of, the numbers are facing a little bit upward, so at least I get predictable results. This is clearly the front, so I'm going to make this larger. Make sure it takes up all the space as much as it can. Like that. Maybe scale this one down because we're never going to see it. Move it to the side, and I think that's going to be good enough. It's a little weird that it's kind of twisting, but at least I know that if I put textures on it, it's going to slide evenly across the other side and not give me anything strange. All right, I'm going to shift right click the second one, and then I'm going to go to, because it's the same item, we'll see if I can transfer my attributes. Let's go to mesh, transfer attributes options. The only thing I really want to make sure component is on and then transfer. And now you'll see that they actually now share the same UV space. So unfortunately, it's not going to work for this one. I could try, select these two and then click on the letter G, but it's not going to work because their geometry is very, very different. Let me see if, I don't think this is going to work. Nope, didn't work. All right, let's move on to this one. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go to UVs, automatic. Again, it's a very simple piece of geometry, so it's not really, wow, I keep clicking the wrong button. Sorry about that. Therefore, it's going to be just fine. You have to be careful though, because if you try to stitch together, shift right click, stitch together, try to automatically map with something a little bit more organic, it's not going to end up as well. So there we go. And again, we don't see the bottom. So I'm just going to double click on these faces. Look at the front. It's somewhat straight up and down. So I'm going to move this in, and that looks okay. Moving on. I'm going to transfer my attributes, shift right click this one, and then mesh, transfer attributes, and there we go. Cool. Let's go ahead and delete some history. And trying to avoid this one. This one's kind of complicated, but well, you know what? Let's go ahead and try it. UV automatic. It's not too bad. Usually it can give you a lot of pieces, so I have to be very careful. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and start stitching. So again, I'm going to grab some edges, maybe zoom in. This is the front of my face, so I want to make sure that my UVs are going to go around it, right? So let's make sure that we keep the UVs, and anything from the back remains in the back. So I'm going to face, and in this case, I'm trying to see, I want to make sure my UVs are facing upward so that if I put any type of texture, I'll know where it's going to go. I'll move this aside for now, and let me focus on this one. All right. Sorry, I'm going kind of fast. Hopefully you guys already know how to UV map. If you don't, I have plenty of tutorials that go over it. I highly encourage you guys to check it out and see if it's something, something that you can kind of understand, because UV mapping is kind of part of the nature of the beast that, we want to make sure that it's good UVs so that we can get some accurate shaders on top. Until we figure out a different way of doing it, this is the way we're going to have to do it. Now, there's a little interesting thing going on right here. Let me see if I can get that edge. I'm going to click on this edge. So it looks like these guys are connected. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to try to do stitch together and get an interesting pull. So I'm going to try that again. Just make sure I select those edges that belong together, stitch together. I'm not sure if I'm convinced by this. Let me see what's happening here. All right, let me click on. All right, so it looks like they're stuck here. So I'm going to do a little bit of cutting. Looks like that's cut. Let's see, I'm going to click on that one and I'm going to cut just so it has a little bit of freedom to move around correctly. There we go. Now it's a little bit, now it's separated. So now I can do my best to try to align it, but there's also this on the way. So let me grab this face, move that out of the way. So this edge is connected to this one. So now I'm hoping that since I don't think let me get this. I'm going to scale this down a little bit. Hopefully it matches a little bit better if I scale it myself. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's grab this edge along here. Shift right click, stitch together. It's a little bit better. I'm still not convinced by the size. I'm not really sure why it's pulling, but we are not really going to see that. It's going to be in the back. Now, if the movie was going to go around the object, then I'd be concerned. Hold on a second. Where is this? Oh, maybe this is the front. Oh, it is the front. So I probably do have to worry about it then. Let me see if I can select these guys. And then I'm going to unfold and see what it gets me. It's probably going to crash. Oh, much better. All right. Thank goodness that worked. Okay. So unfolding worked. That means that it did its best to try to make it into a square, and it did a pretty good job. So I'm happy. And then we're going to keep moving forward. So this is the top. So I can see why I was having some challenges because the top should probably be connected in this direction, not on the side. So what I'm going to do, and I should have paid attention a little bit more. That was my mistake. But the nice thing about 3D is that we can always fix our mistakes. I'm going to take the edges that I want to cut. I'm going to cut here. Oops. Cut. Then select this edge and then stitch together so that therefore it combines a little bit cleaner. So I'm a lot happier with this. I'm going to go in here a little closer and shift right click, stitch together. Good. Let me see if they belong together. They do. Do they? Let's see. Yep. Stitch together. So, okay. So sometimes it doesn't work. So if the stitch together doesn't work, the next thing I do is use sew, and sew works. So sometimes stitch together usually is for pieces that are separated from different shells. Sew just means sewing them together. So. And one more. So there we go. Zoom out. All right, cool. Got our random edge here. Not sure where it belongs to, but I might want to just cut it just because it looks a little weird that it's by itself. So I'm going to cut. And then I'm going to go to edge and grab something. Now I'm really doing this, as you notice, really quick. So just keep that in mind that I'm trying to blaze through this pretty quickly so that you guys can kind of get the idea. Oops, don't do that. Stitch together. There you go. I want you guys to get the idea of how to quickly remap something. All right. So notice that this is basically the end of the model, right? So it's going to go all the way to the end. If I try to sew or stitch together, it's going to stretch. So I'm just going to leave them as is and then try to figure out where these guys come from. So this must be the bottom of the pyramid. Right, so I think it's a good idea to just stitch it together with the bottom. And this must be the bottom of the other pyramid, so I'll just stitch together as well. Great. All right, so now I am going to straighten things out. This is going kind of like the wrong way, so I'm going to rotate it like this, and then make sure that it fits. This is the back. So maybe I might want to what's called overlap. So instead of taking up so much space, I might cut this, take this, double click on it, and then what I'm going to do is called overlapping, which means that I'm going to take this and place it on top of areas that I feel are going to repeat. Now, again, this isn't really going to be perfect, but at least it's going to take less texture information, and then that way I can get this to fit more. I can fit the whole thing together instead of just struggling to get it together, trying to squeeze everything in. All right, so I get this. I'm going to lower this down. I'm going to grab this, bring it in, and then here comes the Tetris. Like I really want to try to get these guys to fit. There is a layout if I wanted to try that. I'm not a big fan of it. If you wanted to, you can try, but I'm going to go ahead and just try to squeeze these guys in as tightly as possible. Maybe there's some areas that I don't care too much about, like the bottom of the pyramid might not be a bad thing. To be overlapping. Usually I try to avoid it. Since it is, I'll just go ahead and cut it and move it. So I might just want to move this out of the way. And that way I can make this one bigger, which I want to have more texture information. Something like that. And then these guys can also move a little bit more. And as long as they fit into 0 to 1 space, they are going to be okay. All right, so don't forget, we need to delete the history every time. So delete the history. Also, don't forget to save. All right, what's next? This thing. Okay, let's go to UVs, planar mapping options. I'm gonna probably do it from the Y, keep image aspect ratio on, project, and I think it's gonna be good enough. If I can try to unfold and see what happens, all right, I'll keep that. And I think we're gonna be okay. This is going to be ground, so I'm gonna squeeze this into 0 to 1 space just to make sure everything fits okay. I believe they are the same, so I'm gonna try to transfer the UVs. So click on the one that has UVs, shift select the one that doesn't have UVs, and then let's go ahead and transfer attributes. Okay, that worked. Yay, makes my life easier. Let's grab the water. We should always UV map even when it's a plane, just to make sure. So I'm going to grab this, planar mapping options. Again, it's on the Y, keep image aspect is on, project. All right, wasn't a perfect square, so I'm glad I UV mapped. All right, we're getting there. Okay, this crazy looking pyramid. Doesn't look so hot in perspective, but it looks okay in the render window. So let's go again. I'm going to just use automatic. Again, it's not a very complicated piece of geometry. I think it's okay to just go ahead and automatic. So grab an edge, maybe 2. Shift right click, stitch together. Then I'm going to go to this side and do the same, stitch together. That guy belongs there, but this is on the way, so I might leave it. And I'm just going to start stitching things together. Okay, that didn't like that, so. And you belong here, so I'll just shift right click, stitch together. And you can probably squeeze here. Okay, it looks crazy. But I want to make sure that it makes sense how I'm going to texture. So try to straighten it out a little bit. Something like that. And let me see, does this edge belong there? It's a little bit weird and it's taking up a lot of space. Let me just scale it down. I want to make sure it fits. This area is where the back, no one's really going to see it. Let me just cut it. I just cut it here just to make it even. Cut. Double click. Just gonna straighten it out and get it out of the way. Just a little too awkward. And then we can bring this one up. Okay, that's looking okay. Gonna click on this one, click on that, then the other one. I think they're the same. We're gonna find out. If they're not the same, I'll just UV map that one. So mesh, transfer attributes. Whoa, different results. They're sharing the same UVs, but it looks terrible. I'm not really sure why. Okay, let's try UV mapping again, automatic. Okay, no problem there. All right, let's go ahead and sew. Again, it's about what is facing the camera. So this is facing the camera. Shift right click, stitch together. Let's see. We can also try to stitch together this part and this part. This belongs over here, so we might cut that as well. And I think that's what we did last time. And then we'll put this one here. So last time so somehow this stuff got torn off, which makes me sad. So I'm going to reset my window. So workspace, reset UV editing. And hopefully now when I open up my attributes, that will be better. So let me do that again. Let's grab the edge. Let's grab the tools. We can cut. And now we can just move things around. So let's go ahead and rotate this, lift this up a little bit, make it smaller. Not many people are going to see that part, which is fine. And then we just have to figure this one out, I believe. Yep, just like the other one, nothing's really different. Just kind of straighten it out a little bit. Move it. I might just make this side a little, there we go. And then just scale it as much as we can and squeeze it together. I'm curious what unfold's going to look like. Okay, that's not too bad. I do the same thing for this one then. Let's double click, unfold. Then that way we get a little bit nicer UVs. Of course, kind of move things around. So again, let's double click. So I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast. You know, when you're learning 3D and things like that, it's going to take a little bit longer to understand, but hopefully the scene isn't too complicated. It's really pretty simple because it's just squares, but or pyramids, nothing major. If it was like trees and all sorts of things, it might take me a little bit longer. Humans take a while, you know, like organic, but hard surface have a tendency to be pretty fast at UV mapping. And I think that's good. Let's go back to Maya Classic and let's look through perspective camera 1, which is the rendering one. And let's grab everything. I'm going to put the UV thing on just so we can see the craziness, but there you go. UV mapping really fast. I think I did that in 20 minutes. If this was a professionally paid gig, I might actually spend a lot more time on it, but because this is kind of like fast exercise that I kind of just want to demonstrate, almost like a white box, you know, you don't have to spend too much time UV mapping. As long as the textures are going to look good, they're facing the right way, and there's no major stretching. When you assign the textures, it's going to work okay. All right, so the next tutorial, we are going to go and start placing textures. And then after that, we'll talk about water, fog, and all the details on how to put the whole scene together. So thank you for watching and listening and maybe even following along. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out academicphoenixplus.com, and there you can find some free downloads, books, ebooks, and some other tutorials. Furthermore, don't forget to subscribe. The more people subscribe, it encourages me to make more. It really makes me happy that people are getting something out of it, and subscribing is one of those ways I can get some user feedback. So again, thank you so much. This is Monica at academicphoenixplus.com. Keep creating, and I will see you next time.